Gerald was scribbling some notes down when Mrs. Buble tapped him on the arm. By the way, Suja didn't have the pens. So Suja did not have the pens. So we're going to put an X here for Suja and pens. Then they go off to see Mr. Blossom. Can you remember anything about the office supplies, Mr. Blossom? We're trying to clear Mario's name. Poor kid, said Mr. Blossom. I remember seeing Rhonda. She did not have the box with the fewest items. Now, fewest items doesn't mean cheapest. It means least number of things. So Rhonda did not have the watercolors because that's the fewest items. So we're going to put an X for Rhonda and watercolors. So that means Suja had the watercolors. And we'll put an O there for Suja. That means Rhonda had to have the pencils. And we'll put O there and X for the rest of that row. And since the pencils are here, and Rhonda at $30, and Rhonda has the pencils, then that's Rhonda. So we put an O for Rhonda and $30. And then we could put X for the rest of that row, that column, and X for the rest of that row. And then we look here, and there's only one spot left. Watercolors has to be $22, which we already knew. And we can fill in that box and put X for the rest of that row. And then we know Dominic had to have the thing that was $13.50. And we put X's for the rest of that row. And Nino had to be the thing that was $27. Okay, so let's just see what else we can figure out. So we know that Dominic was not pencils or watercolors, so we already have that here. We know Nino was not pencils or watercolor, and we already have that here. So we keep reading. One more thing, added Mr. Blossom. Dominic was kind of disappointed because he was carrying the cheapest item. The item in his box only cost $1.50 each. So let's see what that is. So we have $1.50, and we're going to multiply that by, we already figured out pencils. We don't need that. We're going to multiply that by the dry erase, and we get $13.50. And if we take $1.50 and we multiply it by the calligraphy pens, we get $9. So 9 is not a number that we see here, so $13.50 has to be our number. So Dominic had to have the dry erase markers. So we put an O there, and X for the rest of that row and column. And then we have an O here. $27 was the calligraphy pen, and $27 was Nino. So Nino had the calligraphy pens, and then Dominic had the dry erase markers. So we know that Nino is the culprit. He stole the pens and framed Mario.